Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wow Talks. Today, we are featuring none other than Ms. Sapna Dimri. She is the principal at Sri Ram School, has been worked for 30 years, 22 years in teaching and in the education sector. How incredible is that? So let's hear from Sapna. Namaskar, Sapna. Thank you so much for...
Namaste. That's how we greet everyone in our
Ram.
school. So I'm so used to doing Namaste. Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Namaste,
Thank you
Sapna, once again. It's a pleasure. It's an utter pleasure to have you with us. And I'm sure, what you would have to offer would become the wind under the wings of other women. And WOW really stands for Wings of Women, the initiative by TPC leadership. So let us hear from you, Sapna. What made you soar high in your career? You're 30 years into the education sector now, 22 years in the education sector now.
That's right.
What has been your strength?
So thank you, Deep, for inviting me. And it's a wonderful occasion to be talking about wind under our wings. And there are many, many factors and many people in your life that become the wind under your wings. But let me talk about the qualities or characteristics, perhaps, that brought me to where I am. For me, this is personally for me, I have always felt that I'm very, very resilient and I'm very flexible in terms of my thinking, and anything that I take up with a lot of determination. Mm-hmm. And I also with that have a lot of flexibility in my mind space to say, we will take it as it comes. I feel that's a very strong characteristic to have, especially in today's time when things are changing so fast, where the dynamics around us keep changing. Education, per se, a field which was very, very stagnant for a long time, is changing very, very fast today. And we are in a very good space where education is concerned today. So being flexible really helps you to move with the change and accept and adapt to the change. So that, I think, is a quality that any leader or anybody should have, because that will, I feel, go a long way. So I really feel that those two would be my strengths that brought me to where I am.
Awesome. So good to know. Resilience and flexibility, I think that's the call of the hour as well, Sapna, as you mentioned. To be able to change the direction, to be able to be flexible during the changing times. It's so important. And certainly you. And Sapna, what's your take about work-life balance where you're managing teams of so many people, so many teachers under you, right? And having taken responsibility of so many students under you. How do you manage work-life balance? And I'm sure you're a mother to two, wife to one. It's awesome. It's always something or the other at both the fronts. How do you manage yourself?
So here, Deep, I would like to bring your statement of wind under the wings. And I must give credit where it's due, that the work-life balance can only happen when you have support of the family at home and support of colleagues at work. And I think that is something that one has to earn. It doesn't come on a platter. You have to earn that. And so as women, we have to be very careful about the work-life balance, because when you're at home, you're a mom and a wife, as you said, and in today's time, and thankfully at our homes, most of our homes, it's a very equal home where both the husband and wife play an equal role, where the children pitch in and respect the fact that they have a working mom. And I am a strong proponent of that. So you also said, what would you say to your daughter? I have always told her that, when you grow up, you have to stand on your 2 feet. And I think that is something that's really important. So you have to earn that respect at home, and you have to earn that respect at work to be able to achieve that work-life balance. So when I'm at work, I'm completely at work, which also means at the back end, right from the time when I started working, when the kids were born, I was very organized where the home front was concerned. So when I used to go to work, my home used to be organized. When I'm at home, then my work is organized. So time management is another factor which I think helps us gain that work-life balance. But more than that, I think it's the family, it's the colleagues that help you strike that work-life balance. So a lot of credit goes to them. Can't happen by ourselves. Can't do it by ourselves.
I understand why did we name it as Wow Talks now, Sapna. I could actually say wow thrice already in a conversation. I'm getting goosebumps. So thank you for sharing your mantras and being focused where you are, and giving it 100%. And as you said, there's so many people who actually become the wind under our wings. An equal home is so important for a woman. I really wish that every woman is able to earn that equal home, is able to set expectations the way that one can, and men supports equally.
And one last thing, Deep, while you're talking, what's coming to my mind also is that first we have to respect what we do, because the respect starts from us.
Wow.
If we respect what we do and we give it the credit and the credibility,
true,
the family automatically, takes that hint or the thread and picks it up and says, wow, I'm proud of what my mom does. I'm proud of what my wife does. So that respect first for what we do has to come from us.
Amazing. And who would show that? I think it's just, to begin with, it's ourselves. And
absolutely.
It will just show up and people would pick up the thread is what I'm picking up from here as well. Yeah, I truly agree with you on that, Sapna. So how has the pandemic been, Sapna, for the school, for yourself? I understand even my daughter so far has been just an online classes. So lots of dynamics have shifted. How did you manage as a leader during this pandemic?
So Deep, the first initial reaction for everyone was shock, because you never thought something like this can happen to you. And so when it happened, the first thing we did was think of our teachers. I'm talking about work first, because we had to be very clear on what is the support they need, because everybody was going through a tough time. And the first ones, it's like saying on an aircraft that first put the mask on yourself before you save someone else. So as a leader, my first job was to put the mask on my teachers, because those are the ones who are going to hold the children. So we spent a lot of time initially in the first few weeks to train our teachers on Zoom, on Microsoft, to give them the kind of support they needed at home. So they had very flexible working hours. We were extremely sensitive of time, because we used to start at 9 so that they could finish their work at home, because nobody had help. They had children at home, they had elderly at home. So we would start at 9, and so that the teachers got that morning hour with their families. Then we also tried to wind up everything by 2:33, so that then the evening was completely free for them. And in between all this also, if there were teachers who had an issue, had problems, our teachers went through COVID themselves, their families. So the support was there in terms of medical assistance, reference to doctors, calling up doctors in the middle of the night for the teachers to say, our teachers need help. So I think that emotional quotient and holding the teachers emotionally was our first step as leaders.
I can imagine.
Once they were on their feet, and once they were ready and confident, is when we opened the classes online and started holding our children. Over the months, we have seen how the families have struggled in this pandemic. So holding the children and holding the parents became our second most important thing. So throughout the online classes, we've been very flexible with the children. We have helped as far as possible. We have provided extra help outside school hours if required. There were families stuck in Kashmir because they had gone on a trip or something or the other and could not come back. The signals were bad. So teachers have worked on WhatsApp with these children to ensure that they get the complete feel of the classes and they don't miss anything. So the teachers have been on their feet, and as leaders we've been just there supporting them. We all also teach, so I'm a teacher myself. So it's practice what you preach. So we've been doing the same in our classrooms, and I am 100% sure that our teachers did the same, because our feedbacks have been phenomenal from the parents as to how the class has been.
I can imagine something.
Yeah. So as a leader, my first thing was to hold the teachers, second the children, and third the parents.
Yeah. I saw you doing this a lot, and it resonated to me as if you're holding and nurturing a container, and you're nurturing teachers first of all, so that they can nurture children, and then of course the children can create better families, and parents can further hold them as well. So amazing how you held the space during these turbulent times. Commendable, and hats off to you and your entire fraternity of teachers out there. Yes, absolutely. I think the education sector has raised a lot of hopes over last year for everyone in India. I would say that, we are so happy and glad to see our teachers perform the way they have.
Absolutely.
And the schools really stand out the way they have.
It's been a great learning year for us. As educators, it's opened our minds, and I mean, the kind of ideas that each one has come up with, and the way they have, kind of implemented those ideas. I mean, the silver lining amongst the dark clouds has been that it's been a huge learning for all of us.
I can certainly say wow once again on this. Absolutely. Never let a good crisis go to waste. And I think yourself and the teachers and the school's fraternity have done a commendable job in really utilizing this crisis for some big reason. So thank you for that. And one last but not the least, Sapna, what's your advice or suggestion to other women leaders who wish to be where you are, right? Who wish to be like the way you carry yourself and hold the space for yourself and others?
So, Deep, I would say just one word actually encapsulates what I want to say. One is just be humble, because humility is a big thing, and humility also leads to various other things. Humility leads to being open to learning, because learning is never enough. Nobody ever can say that I've reached a point where I don't need to learn anything. In fact, we learn so much from our children, from our young adults. I mean, for me, I have huge respect for young adults who are in the future, going to lead the country. And when you sit and talk to them, you just look at them and you say, I wasn't that smart when I was their age. So for any leader, anybody who's, aspiring to be one, humility is a big thing, because it opens a lot of doors. It opens your doors to learning. It opens access to people. And you have to be approachable. You have to be a person where somebody says, hey, I would like to reach out to her, for advice or for a suggestion. I call, there's a term that I very often use called feed forward. If I meet anyone, I always say, give me some feed forward for myself or my school or for the way we are working, because every feed forward is a learning step. And I really feel that, because if you're humble, you'll be open to the suggestions that people make. You'll be open to the new ideas that otherwise they can just whiz past you and you won't even know that they came. The opportunity is lost. So I feel that any aspiring leader should be very, very humble, and humility is a big, powerful tool to have. And to the young girls out there, I always say that you have to be calm, very calm in situations. You have to be extremely hardworking. You have to prove yourself. So to prove yourself, you need to be calm, work hard, be diligent. And as I said, flexibility and resilience right from day one is going to really take you a long way.
Wow. Great. What success mantras for the young girls, also for the ones who are established? How can they stay humble and have a growth mindset is what I'm taking from here. To be able to stay open, curious, learning, experimenting, agile, adaptable. And of course, there's no shortcut to success. So you have to work hard, as you said, Sapna. So Thank you so much, Sapna. This has been really a wow talk. And I'm sure you are certainly adding wind to the wings of other women. And it was a pleasure to have you with us. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Deep, and thank you for inviting me. It was fabulous talking to you. Thank you.
Same here. Same here.